I have watched over 100 videos on how to land a job in sustainability. And guess what? None of them actually answered my question. And that's exactly why I decided to record this video. If you are looking for that answer, just like I once was, this video is for you. You have probably seen these job titles everywhere and thought, wait, what do these even mean? I have been there. You type sustainability into LinkedIn jobs and end up with 500 openings that sound exactly similar. However, when you check the requirements, they're completely different. So this video is the one I wish I had when I started. I have spent years studying and working inside this space, from corporate ESG reporting to supplier engagement and evaluation, to training teams on sustainable manufacturing. And here's the truth. Sustainability isn't one job. It's an entire ecosystem. And once you see the map, everything suddenly starts to make sense. So in this video, I will make sure to walk you through that map. The real structure of sustainability careers, from the core function to the internal and external stakeholders. And finally, how you can pivot in, no matter where you are starting from. So grab a pen and a piece of paper because you might actually need to take some notes. All right, let's start with a big question everyone is asking. Is sustainability still a smart career move in 2026? Yes, absolutely yes. If anything, this is the moment to make the shift. Despite what you might hear, sustainability isn't fading. It's actually becoming bigger and broader than ever before. Let's have a look at the facts. The green economy is now valued at over 7.9 trillion. That's roughly 8.6% of the listed equities worldwide. It's officially the fourth largest sector in the global economy, and it's projected to create 8 million new jobs by 2030. In everything from climate tech to supply chain decarbonization to ESG data and sustainability design. So, no, it's not nice to have anymore. It's actually where business is heading. Because here is what is really happening. Governments are tightening disclosure laws. Investors are demanding measurable impact. The field has matured enough to deliver real return on investment in many areas. And companies are realizing if they don't get sustainability right, they simply don't stay competitive. But what's really exciting is that sustainability has become cross-functional. It's not just about environmental jobs anymore. You've got finance teams building green budgets. You've got procurement people reshaping supplier criteria, marketing working on authentic impact storytelling, and engineers redesigning the production lines. Every department has sustainability angle. That means more doors are open for people like you looking for a pivot into sustainability world. So if you are thinking about shifting towards sustainability, you are not late. You are early enough to matter. But you might be asking, Ziad, if sustainability is booming, why does it feel like it's impossible to get in? You know what? It's not just you. It really is confusing. Sustainability is booming, and you can tell just scrolling through LinkedIn. Every company is hiring, every title sounds exciting. But here's the catch. Sustainability, again, is not just one role that you can just apply for. It's not a sustainability manager role. It's an entire ecosystem that is growing faster than job titles could keep up with. That's why you might have applied to 100 jobs, but in reality, you actually matched 10 of them. If you look at job portals, you will see all kinds of titles: ESG analyst, impact lead, climate specialist, sustainability manager, sustainability manager, sustainability manager. Sometimes they all mean the same, but other times they could not be more different. And yes, that sounds confusing, but once you understand why and how it actually works, the challenge will become an opportunity. Because the truth is, sustainability sits between everything, between business and policy, between data and storytelling, between operations and innovation. And because it touches so many parts of a company, it can feel like a maze when you first look at it. One door takes you to reporting, another takes you to procurement, and another end up in product design or in operation. And suddenly you are knocking on the wrong doors. And that's exactly what we are trying to avoid, because I have been there. So instead of guessing your way through this maze, we will work together to map this ecosystem and understand how it works so you can capitalize on this opportunity and know exactly which doors to knock on and which to skip. And to make this easier to follow, let me introduce you to someone whose journey might sound familiar to you. Meet Alex. Alex is that friend we all have, ambitious, curious, maybe a little idealistic. She studied engineering and she has been working in fashion industry and product development for a few years already. She knows how big sustainability has become, and she's thinking, I want to do something different. I want a well-paid job, but I want to do something actually help the planet. So she started looking for sustainability jobs. And during a quick chat with her boss, she casually mentions that she's interested in sustainability and might start exploring opportunities outside. To her surprise, the boss was thrilled. He tells her the product development team has been asked for weeks to provide sustainability data about our products. You already know the materials, the suppliers, the systems. Makes sense. Why don't you explore sustainability inside the company? Simply, she appreciated the offer and decided to give it a go. This is one of the most common and most underrated pivot opportunities. You might already have sustainability inside your company, might even have it inside your current department, maybe inside your current role. It might start small, a task, a request, a pilot project, but believe me, many professionals who now lead entire sustainability teams started exactly like this. So keep your eyes open, talk about sustainability with your manager, get involved internally. That's most probably where a real door can open. Now, here is what Alex imagined. She thought sustainability managers publish fancy reports and draft high-level strategies that will shape the whole company direction, the new direction, the sustainable company. I don't know. In reality, her first assignment was to fix the company non-existing packaging database. Not glamorous, but real. And that's where most sustainability stories actually begin. We imagine ourselves writing the full report when in reality we contribute to one small paragraph in a 40-page document. Because sustainability isn't a one woman show. In some companies, it's not even one department show. It's a network, a web, where everything connects to everything else. So, a quick update on Alex. She's now working full time on the small sustainability task, but she's still part of the product development team. She's not part of the sustainability team. What does that even mean, and why is it important? Why I'm mentioning it at all? To clarify this and to make it, we have to make it simple. So imagine the company with a team at the center that is called the sustainability team or ESG team. Let's call it the core sustainability team. And this team is responsible for three main pillars: governance, governance, strategy, and reporting. When it comes to governance, what does governance even mean? Who owns what? So they have to know responsibilities, assign responsibilities, policies, committees, decisions, set the ambition for the company. Then comes strategy. And in strategy, we basically build roadmaps. We build the guidances on how to reach this ambition, how to achieve this ambition. And then when it comes to reporting, which is the most famous when it comes to ESG and sustainability positions, tasks, basically they take the data, turning it into information that fits into a specific standard. Call it GRI, call it ESRS in Europe, you name it. You fit the data turn the data into information, fit it into this standard template, share it with the boards for decision, investors to be informed, regulators to avoid fines, and with the public. Therefore, the core sustainability team coordinate, align, translate, and they constantly work closely with Alex's team and every other internal stakeholder. So what does that look like in practice? Well, they request data from product development team. They reach out to Alex. In product development, they reach out to human resources, finance, procurement, operations. They reach out to all these stakeholders for information. They set timelines. They publish the data afterward on the progress of the company toward different targets, decarbonization, emission reduction. If you remember Max from our previous video working on greenhouse gas verification, if you did not see the video, it's wonderful, go check it out. They reach out to different stakeholders to publish data on progress. So basically this is the core team where the titles usually sounds fancier than the day-to-day work. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this part, that the core roles are not about being the deepest expert in packaging, energy, decarbonization, chemicals, processes. They are more the ones stitching the system together. They are the ones that talk to every other person within the company. That's why systems thinking is very important. That's why stakeholder engagement is one very important skill when it comes to the core sustainability team. The deep subject matter experts are the one just like Alex. They understand the business, they understand the function they work at. Typical roles under the core sustainability team would be, as we mentioned, the CSO, the one go bold with time, the ESG, sustainability reporting, those who look into the standards, controls, and ensure that the company is ready for audits. Well, how to get into the core or to join the sustainability team? Well, the most common path is that you have already studied something within sustainability. You've studied sustainability management, environmental management, corporate responsibility. You are aware of this scope and you start with intern or an analyst or a junior position where you will work on the reporting strategy a little bit. You'll get involved into the core team activities. You'll learn the systems, the frameworks, the flow, this who's doing what, stakeholders. And once you deliver a reporting cycle or two, you can level up into strategy, governance, project management. Meanwhile, if we look at Alex, she's still part of the product development team and not the core sustainability team, yet she's very critical to the success of the core. Which brings us to the next question. What happens outside the center? So Alex is still officially part of the product development team, but she's now spending most of her time working with the core sustainability team. It feels like they are her direct colleagues. She's not in sustainability, but she's doing sustainability. And that's the most important part. And that's exactly how it works inside most companies. Beyond the core, there is a second layer, the internal stakeholders. These are the teams that turn sustainability goals into reality. Finance, procurement, operations, human resources, marketing, and of course, product development, where Alex is building the database for packaging material from scratch. They are the ones making things measurable, fundable, and scalable. And without them, the core would basically be a PowerPoint and a policy. Well, as Alex dives deeper, she starts collaborating with different departments, starting with procurement, who is working on sourcing recycled materials, which is important for Alex to achieve her recycled packaging targets. Then with operations, to improve information or to request information in the first place for life cycle analysis that she's working on for one of the products. And suddenly, she realized something that is very important. Sustainability isn't a side project anymore. Not for her, not for those stakeholders she's working with from those different departments. It is baked into every department's work. And this is the third pivot technique. You don't need to start from zero. You don't need to even switch industries. You already have years of experience in your field: finance, HR, operations, marketing, engineering, or your specific industry. And that experience is gold for sustainability. You can do what Alex did, pivot internally using your existing role as a launchpad, or you can also look on pivot externally for looking for sustainability roles that matches your exact expertise in your industry or in a similar industry. This is the smartest way to pivot mid-career. You make the best out of what you already know, and you position yourself as the best candidate using your strength. Yes, you'll need to build a general understanding of sustainability, read about frameworks, take a course, or maybe join a masterclass to sharpen your foundation. But once you speak the language, you become the top candidate because you bring real operational experience those with sustainability knowledge and sustainable education do not have. And speaking of the language, if you want to build the foundation fast, I have put together a complete ESG masterclass that help professionals just like you transitioning into sustainability with clarity, confidence, and credibility. And for those of you who do not know me, I am Ziad Hataqwe, a chemical engineer turned sustainability manager. I know firsthand how overwhelming it can feel to break into or transition within the ESG and sustainability space. That's exactly why I created the ESG Masterclass, a practical course designed to help you not only understand what sustainability professionals actually do in a day-to-day, but also to understand the big picture every interviewer like always to ask about. And today I'm bundling it with two powerful bonuses: the ultimate EU regulation guide and the ESG career guide. The ESG career guide is wonderful, showing you where to find a job, how to apply, and how to stand out in an interview. You can find all the details in the special offer link down below. And now back to the video. So a few months later, Alex's world starts expanding. She's no longer just working with procurement or operation or the core team. Now she's meeting consultants, auditors, and software providers. People who don't even work at her company, but somehow they know her projects inside out. And that's when she realized sustainability doesn't live inside the company. It connects to the entire ecosystem around it. So we have the core, the internal, and the external stakeholders. The external stakeholders have kind of the bigger universe of sustainability, where most careers, I would say, exist. Consultants and advisory firms, the guides, auditors and certification bodies, the verifiers, SaaS and tech providers, the enablers, regulators, the rule setters, and NGOs. Together, they all shape the direction, the standards, and the pace the corporates are working on sustainability. So for Alex, this whole new world of external stakeholders is new. She's now talking to consultants to perform lifecycle assessment, to auditors to get certified or to get the verification of this lifecycle assessment. And afterward, there's the regulators who actually define what goods even mean. So she started to see her company in this bigger puzzle and understand that how everything is connected. This is exactly what I want you to understand. There's different players, and you have to find the best way to get into this ecosystem. The industry expert shift. You might already be a seasoned professional, 10, maybe 15 years into your industry. You definitely don't want to start from scratch. But you know what? You know the systems, the suppliers, the operations, the regulations better than anyone else. So you know how the real business work. Yes, maybe you have minimal exposure when it comes to sustainability, but here's the truth. Your expertise is really needed in the sustainability world. So after months of learning trial and error, and few late night spreadsheets, Alex finally gets it. Sustainability isn't one lane, or one title, or one department. It's not sustainability manager. It's a web, a system, and she found her place in it. She stopped asking how to get into sustainability and started asking where can I make an impact. And that's right there is the shift that changes everything. Because maybe your story is a lot like hers. Maybe you are standing at the crossroads, wondering if it's too late, too complicated, or maybe if you are even qualified. Well, look for impact. Apply the pivot technique that we've talked about. Either you can shift internally within your department, within your company, maybe within your department and expertise, but outside your company, you already studied something within the sustainability sphere and you can directly go to the core team. Because the truth is, the future of business is sustainable business. And the people shaping that future are the ones who decided to learn more about it today. If this video helped you find clarity, drop a comment and tell me where you are planning to pivot from, and are you planning to go directly to the core internal or external layer? And if you are ready to make the next step, my ESG masterclass is linked below. You might just surprise yourself with how close you already are.